Hey guys, it's Carolee. I just want to share an extra little mini episode with you every single week because I want you to know that it's possible to do this thing called living your best life and doing the thing that lights you up while being a busy mom. And I want to give you a little bit of a background, behind the scenes look at what's going on in my actual life and how I am doing this, how I'm doing the things that light me up and being a mom at the same time. So I'm going to tell you about what's going on in my life and the lessons that I'm learning. Take a listen. Hey guys, here is a little bit of behind the scenes for you. My kids are out of school for fall break and I have a very, very busy day. I have just a jam-packed day, super booked. I think I have 6 different meetings today. Just really busy. And you're probably going to hear my kids in the background because again, it's fall break and trying to be mom and do all the things that I still need to get done today. I wasn't planning on recording this while they were screaming, but again, it's fall break and they're out. But what I'm realizing today, what's top of mind for me right now is time and how much I'm giving away my time and not holding my boundaries the way that I really ought to with my time. And please forgive my crass phrase here. As I was thinking about this last night and coming in today, the phrase that came to my mind, and again, please forgive me, I'm not typically this crass, is that I'm kind of, today and yesterday, I'm kind of being a time whore. I'm just giving it away. I'm just like oozing it. I'm being such a people pleaser that I'm just giving away my time like it's meaningless, when in fact it's like one of the most important, valuable things that I possess, and I really ought to be valuing it so much more. And so the context I suppose I should give you so that you have some kind of understanding of what I'm talking about is I've been doing some coaching. I've been doing some one-on-one coaching. I'm a passion coach, and I'm actually really, really good at helping people have breakthroughs around what's the next step in doing this thing I love. How do I, when somebody is feeling stuck around their passion project, and then they come to me and they tell me what's going on and they ask their question. It's like, what do I do? And I am able to figure that out, and I'm able to just read them and be like, here's actually, I'm sorry, I really was not planning on recording this one. It's just what was coming to mind right now, and now my son is screaming. But I'm able to listen and just have this amazing insight and be like, I think here's, what your real problem is. And I've been able to really help so many people. And so I have come up with this model where I'm like, okay, I'm going to give you a free 15-minute call. And then if you, feel like it was really helpful, then you can come back to me and we can dive into a longer, paid version of it. Because I want to really make sure that this is the right fit for you before you go there, right? And so it's been a great model, and I've been putting this out into the world like, hey, come get a free 15-minute breakthrough call from me. I can help you, because I've seen how I've been able to help people, and I've helped a lot of people have really major breakthroughs, right? And people will surprise you and take advantage of you. And it always surprises me when people do that. It always takes me by surprise, because I forget that there are people out there that will be like, oh yeah, I'm going to run with that and milk it for all I can, right? And so I had somebody who was like, oh, yes, I want this 15-minute chat. Let's do that. And then I messaged them. And they were like, great. So I'm going to write out my whole problem. I'm going to send you several pages of my entire problem written out so that you can read it in advance, so that you know what you're getting into before we ever talk, which is not something that I do. So that was the first step. And this was at like 10, 11 o'clock at night last night, which was already, past my bedtime. And then they, instead of scheduling with me on my calendar when I'm available, they were like, well, I need help tomorrow. So here's, when you need to be available for me. And so the thing is like, I know what to do. I already know. And from today's perspective, today's Carolee is sitting here going, I know exactly what I should have done. I should never have even responded to this message that late at night, because when I'm that tired, I'm not making good decisions. I'm just not in a good place to make a good decision. So, I knew I was too tired to make a good decision, and yet I was too tired to make a good decision. And so I started responding, and I decided to try to squeeze them in to my schedule today, which was already way overfilled. In what I should have done, if I was going to respond at all, which I should not have done, was to say, I'm too busy tomorrow. Here is my Calendly link with my availability, which would have said Monday is when I'm free. I'm not free until Monday, because this was Thursday that they wanted me to find time for them in. And it's funny how we just have more clarity when we've had sleep and we're just in the right frame of mind, And so I am looking back and I'm like, oh, that's what I should have done. And instead I was like, let me just people please all over the place. Like, that's my default mode. Does that happen? Does it happen to anyone else? Do you just fall right back into the default mode? And I've been thinking about it today as I'm going, okay, step 1 is realizing that you have a problem. And my problem is people pleasing and boundaries around my time. And I need to be holding my time far more sacred than I do. I need to be going to bed on time and not giving that time away to anybody. That time should be my sacred time. And so step 1 is awareness, right? Being aware that it's a problem. And then step 2 is being willing to do what it takes to change. And I will tell you right now that I'm not fully there yet. Yikes. And it's like, what's it gonna take for me to be fully there? I really need to start putting plans in place. And perhaps this was the catalyst that's gonna be the thing that makes me fully there. Maybe this was the thing that was big enough as I'm realizing, whoa, I'm giving my time away when I really ought not to be. This is burning me out. And today I had a massive headache. Like, it's finally gone, which is probably why I'm able to record this right now, because I took the medicine and I wore my, ice wrap around my head for like an hour and was able to just sit and chill out for a hot second, even though I had in between calls today. It was great. I was able to do the things that I needed to do to be better and to get rid of that headache. But I'm wondering how much of my splitting headache that I had to go through several calls with was due to the fact that I didn't honor what I needed yesterday for today to be successful. I didn't get the right amount of sleep last night because I stayed up too late, giving my time away when I knew that I shouldn't have been doing it. I knew better. I have the skills. I have the knowledge. And yet, I did it anyway. And so it's not just like, it's so important to, be able to acknowledge when you're messing up, right? Which is exactly what I'm doing right now. It's so important to be able to acknowledge it. But the next step for me is to start really putting some serious boundaries in place, and to not work all the time, and to not answer messages from people at all hours of the day. And it's like, I only answer messages from X time to X time, and after that, I'm done for the day. That is the next step. And I know that if I don't start putting those kind of rules in place and those kind of boundaries for my life and my business, that life won't improve. I will continue to be burnt out with these kind of messages, and people will continue to take advantage of me because I let them. You teach people how to treat you, right? Because there are people who will just take advantage every opportunity. And it's like, we hope that we don't run into those people, but eventually you will. And we want to be able to give freely, but we can't do that if we don't first have the boundaries in place. One of my favorite things to talk about is being selfish and how important that is. And I was talking about this with my husband, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is one of those ways in which we have to be so selfish and put those boundaries around our time so that we can then turn around and give to the best of our ability. Because if we don't, people will take advantage of us so much so that we are no longer able to give because we're just being taken advantage of all the time. We have to have boundaries around our time and our energy. And I'm calling that selfish. If you don't like that word, call it something else. I've heard somebody call it healthy selfish. Whatever you want to call it, it doesn't really matter. You need to do it. I need to do it. And I need to lead by example here. We have to take care of ourselves before we can take care of others, or we will not have anything left to give. Whether that is in our businesses, whether that is for our children, in any capacity, we will not be able to serve others if we do not serve ourselves first. It is just absolutely essential. And so this is my rant on boundaries today. I hope that it has served you well. My kid just let the dog in, which means all chaos is about to break loose. So thus ends my little rant here. I hope you have an amazing day.